Wow, who'd have thought that 50 years ago LandRover pioneered the angel tail lights long before Audi, BMW or Mercedes had even thought of it. Yes, today we're breathing life into the Landy. It's wiring time. I've rigged up a jury rig, I've got a second battery, and I'm livening up just one circuit at a time to trace them, because, quite honestly, this wiring is nothing like the wiring diagram. It's 7:30 on a Monday morning. I've just spent the weekend up in the city getting LandRover parts, and I've spent the best part of the weekend out on the Hauraki Gulf on a yacht, which was a awesome treat after spending weeks here since Christmas working on the Landy. Most of the stuff I need are insignificant, tiny little parts, nothing really exciting, but they're parts that can't be bought locally, and they are the genuine bits from the LandRover specialist, all the little clips and washers and screws that make the job just so. And I've got the inner guards too, here they are. It wasn't worth making new ones, they're only $55 each. And I was very pleased to see that they weren't painted with some kind of cheap enamel spray can paint. They're bare metal. That means that all I have to do is soak the labels off, give them a bit of a wire brush to get the label residue off, and then I'll give the things a quick degrease, let it dry, and I'll put on the gilsonite, my favourite paint for this kind of work. I've mentioned in other videos about gilsonite. It's a very, very old formulation of paint. It's over 100 years old. It was used by Henry Ford on the Model T chassis. Extremely durable paint. When you're starting a job with it, you have to give it a good stir, because when you open the tin, it's black. All the good stuff has sunk to the bottom. So you have to give it a massive stir until it's looking like dark chocolate. And once you've got it to a brown consistency all through, then you can start painting. I use the same brush. It doesn't dry, you just put it into a plastic bag and it will last for weeks or months until next time you're ready to paint this stuff, because it's not like paint, it's a kind of a tar. Gilsonite is very close to bitumen, almost an oil product, but not quite. And one of the strange things about it is that it also has antiseptic qualities. It can be used as a anti-fouling for boats to stop marine growth. If you use it on your house roof, it will stop moss growing on your roof in the shady parts. It's a fabulous protective coating for any kind of exposed steel work that you're not going to be touching. Because it never dries completely, if you give it a good hard rub, it will come off on your clothes or your skin. So great for chassis and inner guards and places that will never be touched in normal use, because it's self-healing. If it ever does get chipped or scratched, it will fill in minor pieces and provide years of long-term rust protection. It's not available easily in shops. If you go into shops, they won't know what the stuff is. You need to go to a coatings specialist. The guy who makes this is in the next town. He literally makes it in his shed at home. He's got a successful little business making 5 or 6 very high quality paint products. Another product of his that I use is his high temperature paint. Quite simply, I haven't found one as good as his, and it's at a really good price. The gilsonite is a very cheap paint because it's made from very cheap ingredients. It's messy to use, but its longevity is amazing. Now I'm putting a really thick coat on here because these inner guards will hopefully never get seen again for the next 30 or 40 years, so I want it to last. It will take 2 to 3 days until these are hard enough to fit, but that's fine. I've got plenty of other work to be getting on with. Now what I've got here is a sheet of insertion rubber. It's 2mm thick rubber sheeting, which is used for sealing roofs and guttering on houses, but it's very durable for outdoor use, so I've decided to remake all of the awful plastic gaskets that LandRover have behind their hinges, which do bugger all. They just don't. They don't seal, that's the main thing. But what I'm doing here is making rubber replicas of the plastic backing pieces, and these will squish up and seal and stop water getting in and rusting the hinge bolts and the inside of the hinge pillars. It's something LandRover should have done from scratch. I recommend you do this on your rebuild to make things last longer. Now, before I went sailing on the Hauraki Gulf for the weekend, I painted the door, you might remember. And now that I've got the door finished and I've got these little bits made, I can put this hinge on the door, get the thing fitted. Not easy by yourself, but by getting your knee in just the right place and starting the bolts through the hinges, I should be able to get this on without damaging the paint. Once it's fitted, it's a simple matter of attaching the hardware. I've got a grab handle fit to the inside and the door locking mechanism. That's just held on with 4 bolts, as you'll see here. Nip that up, and then I can adjust the striker plate to give me the right clearances. And once I've done that, I'll probably put some new rubbers around the doors and adjust the striker plates and get everything all tickety-boo, because with most LandRover doors, well, anything below 3 slams is acceptable. So I reckon I can get these down to 1 slam.